Sinila Fibbie Tatti Siridi. My name is Fibbie Tatti, and I come from the Sahtug tribe. I come from a small community called Delane. Delane is situated on Great Bear Lake, and Great Bear Lake is called the Sahtug, hence the name Sahtugotine. In Sahtug, there is a place called Tudze. It means water heart. We believe as a people that Sahtug is the heart of all beating waters on this earth. And that is why it's called Tudze. And when you drink that water, you know you are drinking purity. It is absolutely beautiful. That's where I come from. The Deline Mapping Project began in 1970 during the Mackenzie Valley Pipeline inquiry. And the goal was to establish rights for the Dene to negotiate a comprehensive land claim agreement. And the Deline Mapping Project effectively the interviews began then, and they're still continuing on today. The purpose of this of the Deline Mapping Project was that elders felt that it was very, very important for them to provide all the information that they can and give it to the people, especially the youth. And they believe that language and traditional knowledge are critical to our identity and the definition of self. Love of the land and the duty to act as stewards of the land, including Great Bear Lake, was a gift bestowed upon us as a people by the Creator. The methodology that we are using to collect the data is through the Google Earth GIS program. To date, we have about 400 traditional place names, and we have about I don't know how many inland lakes and rivers, trails, cabins, and grave sites. We have where the fish migration routes are, the good sites for berry picking, and the traditional collection of moss places for diapers. And we're recording a lot more than just data. And it also, there are stories that go with every site. And sometimes those stories are in, they're written in text in the Sahtugotine language as well as in the English language. And there's an incredible spiritual significance to collecting things that come in the language itself. There are some seriousness to it as well as having a lot of fun. One of them was a place called Sahtugotine, where the ravens stole moose fat from the people to keep him going for a whole year. And there are even love songs in there. And why is the Deline Mapping Project important? It's creating a very accessible living archive and making it available not only to the Sahtugotine, the students and educators, academic including linguists, other Indigenous people, and the general public. It provides insights into Sahtugotine culture, the spirituality, and our worldview. Also an important tool for retaining the teaching and maintaining of the Indigenous language. Vocabulary comes in the research, which is directly from the land. It's very rich and old, and the people refer to themselves as the Tsindu people, which means that they are as old as the rock people. The language also tells us about who we are. Elders decided to tell us about the spirituality of the land for the first time, because the people that we're working with, they are the last ones to be able to give us that information. So they've decided to tell us now. In conclusion, the Sahtugotine are committed to revitalizing our language and culture. By recording and preserving this knowledge, future generations will have the resources and legacy to rely on. By engaging in this project, the elders are fulfilling their obligations and responsibility to educate and inform the next generation of who we are as a people and how Great Bear Lake and the surrounding territory defines us. The establishment of a new government is genuinely historic because that just took place September 1st, 2016. It's a way of the Sahtugotine people to strive to shed the burdens of colonialism and reestablish a progressive community rooted in its language, its culture, its worldview, and its spirituality. In the 1970s, our elders inspired the dream in us of our people becoming a self-governing people once again. The Deline Mapping Project, and they began with, was one of the first steps of making that dream a reality. I love working with the elders. It's not like working at all. They are gifted storytellers. They are beautiful in their generosity and their patience. Knowing this is for the future, we are encouraged to ask questions so that we, as transmitters of knowledge, are able to capture their visions, and it is an honor. Many, many years ago, thousands of years ago, our people saw a young man go into the moon, and his name was Sahtugotine. And he went into the moon, and his parents wanted him to come back. But he decided that from the moon he could take better care of us. And so he went to the moon. And so every full moon, our people would celebrate him. And this is the song that we sing. Yes, yeah, yes, yeah. Yes, yeah, yes, yeah. Go say na quits in li, na quits in li. Yes, yeah, yes, yeah. Na quits in li, na quits in li. You remember that tomorrow morning when you're taking a shower. Yes, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me.